Hi, I'm Scott Kruzmark with How to Hack Real Estate. Maybe you've seen, maybe you haven't seen, Zillow got into the market to buy houses. So they would take their numbers, which was their biggest mistake, and purchase properties. They bought a fair number of properties. Then all of a sudden, about 2 weeks ago, they said, "Oh, enough's enough. We're shutting the that division down." So they have a bunch of properties that they've purchased. They paid too much for them. They need too much in repairs. And so they're going to have to deal with those properties before they can re enter the market. Hopefully, when they re enter the market, for them anyway, that they'll enter with a much better answer in terms of how to price the properties and not pay too much for them. So if I was a seller, I thought that was great. And hopefully that you were one of those sellers and you sold Zillow a property. If not, as an investor, I'm looking for properties. Yeah, they were some serious competitors because they were paying too much. They entered the market with this idea, and there are a number of other companies that have done the same thing. They were a little smarter than Zillow. Zillow was over exuberant, and they trusted their own Zestimate. Well, we all know from practical experience as investors that Zestimate is way too high. There are a few markets where it's low. Typically, when the property is very expensive, then they don't come up with high enough number. But at the low end, the numbers are the house should be selling for $40,000, and they've got it listed at 50 or 60. Just not acceptable. And hopefully they've learned some lessons. Probably not, but Zillow, it has a bunch of properties that they will need to unload. They are starting to unload those at below what they bought them for. So they're taking the hit. Now Zillow's big enough that they can afford the hit to a certain extent, and which is hard for them as business, but maybe an opportunity for us as investors. And so if you can find properties that Zillow is selling off, they may still be a little high, but with the coming inflation and the fact that I think the market's not going to cool off as much as people are saying, I don't think we'll have a recession, and I don't think we'll see a big dip in prices. I would love to see one. I was kind of looking forward to it, but I think that's not going to happen. There's still too much demand for the supply, and that keeps the prices high. The marker that tells you that the market is going to approach that recession is days on market. When it reaches on an average 60 to 80 days on market on an average, then you can start to look for that recession. But I think that's a long ways out, 2, 3, 4 years. There's my thoughts on Zillow and their buying spree. And I think they will re-enter the market. I think there are companies out there that did enter the market and did it much better. We have situations in the market where things come and go. Happy investing, and you have a fantastic day.